Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to another day to talk about Nigerian politics as we talk about them. And we'll continue to talk about them every single day as long as we live until things better for this country. Even when we think say things don't be better, we will continue to talk about things so that it will be better than that better way better, or it could be perfect. Even when it perfect, we will keep to talk about them so that we know we'll stop to perfect the situation of things. Welcome to Update with Precious, another beautiful day to talk about things really happen for inside the country. My name is Precious Ini. As usual, it is sweet my belly to bring on to read them really happen for inside the country. Ngwa sharply make I bring on a small headlines of things really happen today. Okay, Adi come. Let me just give it a small headline. I'm coming back. Because I wanted to talk about something else, but I won't. Now, Sowore now accused Peter Obi of avoiding free Nnamdi Kanu protest to steal the show concerns. Because of to steal the show concerns, whatever that means when I explain it to you. And the same Shawari too, he don't blast Tinubu. He said Tinubu, no way did he fight for democracy. No, that he was actually padding and hobnobbing with military at that time. He can't open up, blast Obasanjo. In fact, he said if there's anybody will be secondment of devil, say it could be Obasanjo. Then he can't blast Malami, El-Ruffai and Chibika Amaechi. He can't talk, say Tinubu don't perfect plan to use rig the 2027 election. And say Tinubu go rig the election in a way where it be like, say, then go talk, say, this rigging, a free and fair rigging. Say, now, waiting he mean by that thing where INEC chairman talk where he be say, they say, then go do an election where he be say, even the loser go congratulate the winner. This thing shocked me. Let me explain answer that. But we're getting to that conversation. We'll get there. Moving on, Yoruba Union faults Tinubu's leadership, demands public trial of army officers arrested over coup plots. Now, the Yoruba people, they say, make them try army officers with that arrest over coup plot. But remember, say government don't talk. Say, no, they not arrest them because of coup plots. They arrest them because of some leadership, disobedience and loyalty issue as they get to do with the army. Convention. PDP National Secretary petition SSS accused party INEC officials of forging his signature. Remember, I said when they talk about the PDP convention we're supposed to hold for Ibadan this November. He thinks say that convention will finally hold with this litigations up and down for inside the case. Well, failed leadership, corruption, worsening poverty in Nigeria. Peter Obi, I don't lament that one. 2027, defections or not, APC don't finish. Olule, APC is finished. ADC, now they talk this one. The noise is fading away. Joe Igbokwe don't mock coalition of oppositions. Ooh, honor they coalesce, but the noise on the fade. We don't see son and not get energy again. Churches, mosque, now the same in Kaduna under Governor Obasani, APC chairman. Yitwalda, you watch that, now they talk that one. And then Tinubu's presidential pardon can damage investors' confidence. CPPE, now they talk that one. As I said, the clemency, you brought shame, scrap NDLEA, EFCC, ICPC, APC chieftain, now they tell Tinubu you brought shame to us. Oshun APC bribery claim, baseless, threats to democracy, Governor Adeleke, now they talk that one. And then Nnamdi Kanu rights group kicks over protest ban, task Nigerian government. To do what in, you're going to want to reach there. Man escapes death as gunmen kill mother, two sisters in Anambra State. And bandits kill customs officer in fuel smuggling clash in Niger State. Well, this and more matter now ABC will discuss this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's always a pleasure to be with you. And joining me this evening for inside the studio now, our Sunday Tani, Prince Francis Chilaka. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, sir.
Precious, how are you?
I could be better, honestly.
You're looking as if the problem of Nigeria is all on your shoulders. Please.
It's all on my head, not even on my shoulder.
I beg. Leave these politicians. So they're all crooks. They're all criminals. They're all the bad things that you can think about. So when you think so much about the ills of the society, you just end up breaking down because they don't care. So just do the little you can and enjoy your life. This life is only once.
All right, sir. So since you don't talk about our politicians now, before we even go to other matters, then we consign the politicians as you talk about them. Make I quickly pick your mind. The one we get to do with what did they call him? Your brother Reno Mokri, and this drama we get to do with him and this Mike Arnold guy. How you see this drama with the go? Because it can't be like say the drama is never ready to end at all. You see that video with the Mike Arnold release What it
The
shows
drama
is,
is no. The truth of the matter is that when you think you're too smart, you think you have everything under your control, you fail to realize that where your madness stops is where that of another person continues. And there's something about people who go about uh, defaming other people, creating problem here and there. They don't actually know when their own problem will start. I mean, that video simply shows you that, in other words, now it's become like an indictment on Arise TV.
it is.
Uh,
Iran has responded, but does it really matter? Because
no,
somebody will talk,
yes,
say, indeed, it looks like money exchanged hands. Because for
no,
Ryan
because
they talk like
for
that,
Arnold,
confident to say, in go ditch the thing. Now if you say, be like say money exchange
no,
hands.
it's normal. It's like it's either Arise TV collected money officially, or the presenter or host collected money. Somebody collected money. And if you watch that video, you'll see the authority with which Reno was talking. He was not talking like somebody who was being interviewed for free. He was talking as somebody who has paid for airtime and wants, the show to go the way he wants. And at the end of the day, the show went the way he wanted. He wanted to sit where he will be the center of attraction. And the laughable side of it is that Reno had wished that things went his way. I'm sure that if things had gone the way Reno planned, nobody would have been able to say anything on X. Reno would have tweeted and tweeted and even tweeted to the point that people would not be abandoning X for him. But have you also noticed that suddenly Reno has kept news? It's gone. It's gone out of relevance. It's gone out of. He's no longer in the eyes of the people. He's no longer saying anything. So we take it back and to look at it and say, okay, assuming this was something that involved Peter Obi, what do you think Reno would have done? Reno would have shut down X, would have shut down Facebook. I mean, he would have practically brought this himself to Nigeria and organize a street walk against Peter Obi. But you see, the irony of it is, in everything Reno was doing before now, it was centered on one person, and that is to pull down Peter Obi. But he went and said, yes, if you take time to read through all his tweets in recent times, it's always been about Peter Obi did this, Peter Obi didn't do that, Peter Obi didn't react to this. The same thing Reno was doing before now is actually what Sowore is trying to do. Trying to gaslight, trying to force people, trying to cajole people, trying to use the fact that it has Sahara reporters and all of that, to just defame people. And so you ask yourself, how far are the politicians ready and willing to go? All of this is not about the people. All of this is not about the ordinary Nigerians that are suffering on the street. All of this is about how they want to line their pockets. It is really, really shameful because that video shows you the fact that, there is more to come. I think the man is just taking his time and waiting for Reno to open his mouth so he can finally shut it down. But Reno is not talking.
All right. So the man has also said that, that where this is coming from, he's got a lot more. What baffles a lot of people is the fact that they were unaware that he recorded this. And not just this. Remember, say he recorded the communication between the Khan chairman, the Muslim clerics who BC been did here for that conversation. Well, for those who don't understand what's in the happening. So this was behind the scene before the prime time interview for Inside Arise Television, where Reno Mokri insists to sit down for a particular place for inside the interview. Now, the Arise studio is very small. So when they get more than 2 guests, they need to permit more than 2 guests at a time. So the other guests could spill over to a different room where they could follow join virtually for the conversation, right? But Reno, since there were, the so-called diplomats will come, the way the Makano, one of them, will come
Foreign,
and
foreign,
then
foreign consultants.
foreign consultants. So they were supposed to sit in the main room while people like Reno and all that sit on the other room. But Reno no agree. In fact, he insists, say he must make sure say he sit down there, else the interview no go hold. Let's take a listen to that. Because a lot of people, yeah,
If
let's
it happening, then it's not going to happen.
You're going to walk out.
I'm not going to walk out, but it's not going to happen. The interview is not going to happen.
This is the most extraordinary thing I ever heard.
Because I'm an extraordinary person.
No, you're not an extraordinary person. You're a difficult person.
I'm not. You're difficult.
I mean, this is the last.
We
Okay, it's all right.
had
Go
an
and sit down.
agreement.
Go ahead and sit down. But we're not going to do this again. Ever.
So yeah, so this is the drama that happened. Anyway, make I leave him. A lot of other things is going on. A lot of other issues. The man don't go on and on. They talk about how Christians should fight for themselves. How can Christians be allowed to believe there is no deliberate genocide of Christians in Nigeria? Who be the people where they perpetrate the crime, and against which people where the crime they perpetrated? He's gone on and on and on and on. I'm sure I'm also retweeting different tweets which points towards that direction. And the Nigerians, they ask the question, say, to what end? Waiting be your end goal. Okay, if US designates Nigeria, what do you stand to gain? Why are you pushing? No, this is the question we see people they ask. And well, one of the videos we post now, this one, we see this particular cleric, they inside the grave of the people where they conduct their mass burial, they cry out, they talk, say, don't tire.
We are tired to be outside performing burial every day. And they expect us to silence. Now, it's an order. Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look at it today. Is there any Muslim here? United Nations, I know you're watching me. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims.
All right, okay, so that's it. Well, let me take a reaction while we go to the next rest matters we have for the day, sir.
Let me take it from the point of where people are asking to what end. And when people ask such questions, I think those people are very stupid to ask such questions. You can't have people who run about from one state to another, killing a particular tribe, killing a particular sect, people who believe in one religion. You're killing them like animals. And somebody's asking, oh, why do you want, somebody to sanction Nigeria? Why do you want Nigeria to be put in the spotlight? I mean, that is the height of stupidity. That is mediocrity. Nobody would stand back and watch their own being killed. So we must, when we begin to look at issues, when we begin to talk about it, we must ask ourselves, if I was the one who was involved, and my family members are being slaughtered this way, how will I react? So for me, it's not about whether they want to designate Nigeria as a country of concern or whatever. But the point is that, genocide is being committed. Now, people are being killed of particular religion. And the government, feels that the best way to handle it is by making sure that nobody talks about it. I mean, today we're looking at Jos, we're looking at Benue, we're looking at other states. But it could be any one of us tomorrow. We could be caught in the crossfire. So everybody's speaking against it because we believe that it is high time the Nigerian government takes decisive steps. You can't have a country where, your political leaders are holding meeting with bandits, holding meeting with terrorists, trying to negotiate, trying to tell them they're arriving at peace. And at the same time, government officials are crying, oh, we need your help. Federal government, come and help us. Is that not the height of mediocrity? So for me, anybody who thinks that, what is going on now is a child's play, it is not a child's play. It is not a child's play. Look at what is happening in Kwara. Look at what is still happening in Kaduna, southern Kaduna. And we keep asking these people that get displaced from their ancestral homes, who are those occupying those lands? And why is it that government has not been able to send people back to those lands? Why have they not been able to chase away those who have forcefully taken over those lands? So this is where the complacency comes in. This is where people are saying that, oh, government is involved. Government is playing as if they don't know. Government is pretending not to know the things that Nigerians are going through. Honestly speaking, this is something every right thing in Nigeria should condemn in strong terms. We must not push ourselves into that situation where we begin to deny certain things that are very, very obvious. If this didn't come out, we would have just assumed that, oh, it's a normal killing. But look, if you now look at it as an educated person, as somebody who has, wisdom, somebody who has common sense, you will agree that yes, it is something targeted at a particular set of people for a particular reason, and it needs to be caught. And that is why when the Sultan of Sokoto, with due respect to him, was saying that Islam is not.
And jihad is not about killing people or killing
Yeah,
non-believers.
but then you ask yourself, these people who kill, you should most times you hear them say, Allah Akbar. What does that mean? It's like somebody saying, oh, we want to kill somebody and say in Jesus' name, you're killing somebody. It means that you are saying that that religion or whatever you believe in agrees with what you're doing. And the way things are, I expect, when it's speaking, I expect that our Muslim clerics, the leaders, all the Muslim leaders, all those who are leaders in the north should come out and speak up against these things. But they are not. They are not. And like that pastor said, if the Muslims are killing the Christians, it is known as cleansing, it is known as genocide. But if the Muslims are killing the Muslims, you cannot call it genocide because they're killing their own people. And out of every 100 Christians, that are killed, maybe one or two. And I think that the whole idea of killing one or two Muslims is trying to say it is a balanced situation. No, the life of every Nigerian matters. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a traditional worshiper, their lives matter. And government must wake up to that responsibility of protecting the lives and properties of Nigerians, irrespective of their tribe and their religion. It is very, very important. So the cry that everybody's crying out is for government to wake up, to do the needful. I mean, I felt so pain, I felt so bad that, we're looking, government will say, oh, we don't know where these bandits are. We don't know where these terrorists are. Or you see them in the open, holding meetings, and then they come in their thousands with their bikes, and they also leave the venue and nothing happens. We need to wake up from sleep. Our government needs to learn to be more proactive than being reactive.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. So let's move on to other issues very quickly. Let's begin with the conversation around Sowore and waiting in talk about some people. First of all, he accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of perfecting the plan to rig the 2027 election, saying don't perfect them so well. And one of the things they will do now to rig them in the way it be like way it would be to people like say the election are really free. He said that during an interview with I think TV Platinum that was broadcast today. And then he also did say something that was why. Remember that the INEC chairman during screening said that during his screening at the Senate, at the floor of the Senate, when talk say he will conduct election will be say even the loser will congratulate the winner. So Sowore was saying that that's part of the plan to rig the election. For the election to be rigged in such a way that even you, when they rig against you, will believe, so, okay, wanna win me. That's what he said. But then he also said other things in a different interview. Well, with that same interview, he accused Malami, El-Ruffai, Amaechi of being scams. Meaning, say the opposition no go get ahead, say them be scam. Is it that they're perhaps working for Tinubu and also working for the coalition well? And then he also did accuse other people, especially him, Tinubu, to accuse them during the military regime. Say he been they actually paddy with the military government. That one of a different interview with, I think, Shehu Kimaloye on his one mic. But let me let you respond to the rigging and the Malami and Amaechi's own. Then I'll play the videos for those other interviews he had so that you react, sir.
The truth of it is that Nigeria, as it is today, in terms of the conduct of elections, people already know that the APC, but I won't just put it on the seat of Mr. President. People already know that the APC are working towards rigging this election. I mean, it's very obvious. When you there was an interview I was watching before we came on. I watched several interviews, but I'll take them one by one. I was watching the interview that Hope Uzodinma had with Channels TV, and they talked about the fact that Peter Obi said that nobody can take over the Southeast with all the defections. But he said something, that seems to be resonating with all those who have either left PDP or Labour Party to join the APC, or those who are already in the APC. He said that, well, all he knows is that the people of the state will vote for APC candidates, and that will win. So the confidence with which these people are speaking, it shows you that there is something Nigerians are not aware of. It shows you that, I don't think any reasonable Nigeria today, with the kind of suffering we're going through, with the kind of hunger in the land, would vote APC 2027. So anybody who comes out to tell you that he is sure of delivering APC to the federal government for 2027 and delivering his own candidate, then it means that there is more to it. It means that the rigging has been perfected. All they're waiting is to play it out. And then also moving forward, you've heard the Edo State governor as well. He has kept telling you that 2.5 million votes will go to APC.
You never hear what's in the happen for Edo State. You never see the geared updates. The updates now, the local government, the ALGON, the Association of Local Government Employees, yes, in the Edo State, don't want everybody or across all the local government. They should not come for meeting or anything without all the chairmen, local government, councillors, executives of local government without wearing their Shiwaju cap. Go try.
The governor passed down the message. It is the governor that passed it down. He was
his ex-cos. But
this is what
don't push him further.
What happens in Nigeria? What happens in Nigeria is that whatever the federal government is doing, the state governors will copy it, and the local government chairman will copy it. I don't know if you've seen the video of the local government chairman of Eche in your state.
The one that is the weakest.
What kind of madness is that? What kind of madness is that? A local government chairman, is now dancing, and they're playing music for him like Wiki. You can see how APC has taken us backwards. Rather than taking us forward, they're taking us backwards. The kind of things our leaders are doing is so shameful to the international community. It's so shameful. And then you're talking about, you're looking for foreign direct investment. Who would come to do such an investment in a country where you're not sure of your security, you're not sure of the repatriation of your funds, you're not sure of energy to run your business, you're not sure that even the Nigerians have the energy and strength to work. So obviously there is something that APC has, and they believe that they have it that will help them rig the election. Because they're not talking from the point of saying, maybe 50-50. No, but they're telling you clearly that come 2027, they will win. And I keep asking, when they start the campaigns, what is the president going to campaign with? Is he going to be telling us about, what do you call it, the highway? Is he going to be telling us about the fact that he has a minister who is a professor in practice? Is he going to be telling us about the fact that, all the hospitals are functional, and all the roads, the local roads have been taken care of? Is he going to tell us about the fact that they have spent 39 billion renovating an existing structure, and they need 790-something billion to renovate the international airport? Is he going to tell us the fact that, oh, they built several houses, that Nigerians are no longer looking for houses to stay in?
Okay. So going back to the conversation, Sarah, do you believe what Sowore is saying, or what do you make of what he said about the perfection of rigging for 2027, based on what Amok Peter said, that the election will be so free and fair that even the loser will congratulate the winner?
Well, Precious, let me say this, and I'll say with all sense of responsibility. I find it very, very distasteful and disdainful that while we're talking about elections, a man who is supposed to be in court, a man who has been said to have stolen, we've seen evidence that he has stolen from the state. And I'm talking of Yahya Bello. It's all over the place campaigning for your president. And he tells you that your president is a saint. The president is a savior. And the judiciary and the EFCC suddenly have gone to sleep. So yes, I remember I told you the very day Amuk Potan, what do they call him, said what he said. I told him, look, talk is cheap. I told him, I said, he's already saying what he believes he wants to do to perfect any form of rigging. I told you that. Because what he said, he has not said to Nigerians he is going to address the fact that there are people who are directors, who are electoral commissioners that are party carrying members. He never talked about it. He never talked about, telling us how, he's going to investigate the funds that are plunged into the 2023 elections, the IRF and every other thing. He hasn't talked about it. But he's telling you that standing on the current protocol that Nigerians do not want, protocols that Nigerians do not trust, protocol that Nigerians do not believe in, standing on the same protocol, he's telling you he's going to conduct a free and fair election. And you want to believe that? I mean, that is like, it's like people will say, monkey is clever. Or I keep saying monkey no clever. The only way monkey is clever is because the trees are close. Separate the trees, you know that the monkey is not clever.
Okay.
So for me, I totally agree with Sowore that yes, APC has planned their rigging strategy and they're just waiting for it to be implemented. Let me also remind you, do you know presently that APC in Lagos has organized what they call street actors, or what do they call them, that will facilitate the voters card in Lagos, people to get their voters card. And I'm asking, is that the duty of the APC to do that? APC is a political party. I get involved in the collection and distribution of voters card. This is something that is private to everybody, every Nigerian. This is something that the federal government would have pushed the National Election Agency to do. So you can now see that gradually they are coming out, from wherever they are hiding, and whatever plans they have in place, they are bringing it out on a daily basis to let you understand that yes, they are perfecting their rigging strategy.
All right, so let me just take a few of those tweets which I already put out here. Tinubu has a perfect rigging for a plan. El-Ruffai, Amaechi, Malami are scams. I put up the link of the video where he had that interview there. But there is some response where BC people don't even give them on the way. I was say make I just quickly let you know, because trust Nigerians, they would always respond. Let me see if I took up that reply. Yeah. Okay. No, this reply now after EBC reveal within the reveal about make I take in response to the things and when you talk about Obasanjo, and at the end I reply.
Although one of the protests you talked about, Obasanjo
spoke about
that he wanted the third term.
If the devil had a deputy, it would be Obasanjo.
That's defamation.
It's not.
How would you say that of a former president? One of the most respectable African
in
the world.
It's respected by some people, but this is not disrespect. I'm just being truthful.
You're speaking ill of the man who had gotten the grace to run this country 3 different times.
Well, he's gotten the grace to run this country 3 different times. He's also used it 3 different times to run the country down. So how can someone be more devilish than that?
Because you wanted to be president. So would you have been devilish if you had been president?
Never.
So why would you refer to him?
Because his records show that nothing could have been done by the devil that he didn't do. Burning out OD Village, Zaki Piam, manipulating elections. It was during Obasanjo that an election was held in this country where there were no serial numbers in the ballot papers. And he said Yar'Adua won the election. Even Yar'Adua himself had to repudiate that election. That's Obasanjo for you. He was the one who masterminded the third time, even though he kept denying it. But that was what made me refer to him as the deputy to the devil.
Because, that you're talking about the father of the Nigerian Fourth Republic.
Well,
he's
the father of many things and many people. But, I have also met his children, his biological children. And what I heard from them is, it will make you shudder. For instance, I met his son, Benga Obasanjo, years ago. We rode in his car from Benin Republic to Nigeria. It was those days I used to sneak into Nigeria. And the customs, I think immigration were trying to detain me. He came not knowing who I was. And they started shouting, like, who are these people fighting with immigration? So I didn't know who he was. I went on there, saw that he wrote his name with a pen on their exercise book for entry into the country. He was coming from Benin Republic. And I said, this is Benga. So I walked to him. I said, why are you being rude to us? He looked at me and said, who are you? I said, I'm Sowore. That time we were doing the Lendo reports. So he flared up. He's like, oh, you people have been writing rubbish about myself. And then he turned around and said, but I like one thing you did. And I said, what is it? He said, the house that you found in Brooklyn, you were able to prove to the world I was not the owner, it belonged to my brother. And that saved me. So we left. And when he was driving, you know how security people on their own assume that the moment you have an issue, a thief with their Oga, they too have. They drove past us, it was a dirt road between Nigeria and he just drove fast and they had dust covering us. And then he suddenly stopped. And he beckoned on me. He said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Nigeria. He said, where in Nigeria? I said, well, because we're already in Nigeria. I said, I'm going to Lagos. He said, yeah, I can give you a ride. He gave me a ride. And we spoke for the entire period it was about 3 hours. He told me many things, including the fact that he wasn't sure if his children were his. And I asked, what do you mean? He said, I think my father has been sleeping with my wife.
That's Benga Obasanjo?
Yes.
Alleging that his father
was sleeping with his wife. And
that's atrocious.
So, but I didn't want to believe him.
Yeah, but it can be confirmed, though.
He took his father to court. You can search on the internet. He sued his father.
That's what he told you.
Yes. No. He sent me the document, the court document, and that the court should determine the paternity of his children. I was shocked because I thought he was being flimsy. It was the time he confirmed to me that his father was behind the third term thing. That his father is very deceitful. Told me, about El-Ruffai. In fact, after the interview was published by the news magazine, interestingly, edited by Bayo Nanuga. So they had appointed me as their special correspondent at that time. So
you worked closely with Bayo Nanuga,
of course,
and Babafemi Ojudu,
yeah,
and
Baba
of the news at the time.
Otitoju. Those 3 guys were, there was another Tayo, I forgot his name now, and what's this man's name? Kunle Ajibade. So they were my handlers. While coming to Nigeria, they put me up in hotels and while I do my work. So I would do investigations for them. I would do interviews for them. But that was the biggest interview at that time. So Benga then denied that the conversation we had cannot be regarded as an interview. So Femi Falana, who was lawyer to the news and myself, wrote to his lawyers and said, this is the encyclopedia definition of interview. And that was the end of the case. They never sued. El-Ruffai sued, but the case never came up because then Yar'Adua drove all of them into exile. Yes, this is El-Ruffai. drove also Nuhu Ribadu into exile. They're all in the US with us. So I was like their handler in the US. They would talk every day, sometimes frequently, trying to figure out what's going on with Yaradua.
So most people in this government today were your former friends.
All right, so sir, I'd like you to respond to this accusation we make in Sama on top of Obasanjo head. And then when you finish that one, I can't play the one where we say some accusation again on top Tinubu head as it gets to do with in paddy with the military at that time. But let me, let you speak.
Let me say that there's something I've tried not to get into, and that is when try to bring in people's family into politics. Show what it's fond of doing now. It's fond of trying to bring people's personal life into politics. I will not. That is very childish, and it's a pity. Whatever you hold, you discuss with somebody, except the person says, "Put it out." But whatever conversation you hold with somebody should remain with you. So for me, I would not give him that credence. I would not give him that satisfaction of trying to discuss whatever Gbenga said to him. Gbenga had channels to air his views and all of that. And, but talking about the president, Obasanjo's tenure, and the fact that election was rigged, yes, we all knew it. We all knew that the election that brought late Yaradua was rigged. And, obviously, we all saw Yaradua admitting it. So it is not new. It's not new because Sowore is saying it. No, it's been in the news. But the question there is, must we continue in sin? Must we continue in sin so that mercy will abound? Must we continue to do the wrong things so that we will look for an excuse to say we're doing the wrong thing? No. I'll say this to Sowore, and I've always said it. Nigeria has become a complex nation where you cannot on your own alone put yourself there as a president. You cannot. So if Sowore believes that everybody around is not worth to be a president, then he's also not a good leader.
That is, if you believe, say every other person will be better person.
Yes, then he has a problem. And I think that is where I totally disagree with Sowore.
But he gets reason why they talk. See, all these people at one point or the other don't hold leadership position. Where we say they show some kind of character, we suppose where they question it now.
Sowore has always said everybody is wrong, everybody is bad. You cannot be the only good person. You cannot. Honestly speaking, I was expecting that with the energy Sowore has. Imagine Sowore energy, bringing it with the energy of Peter Obi, bringing it with the energy of other people. You will see a formidable force. You're not forming a coalition. You're not holding meetings with anybody. And you just believe that, oh, they're the only righteous man in Nigeria. And you believe that you can.
But he always talks, say revolution might be the only way out to get the country right.
Well, what kind of revolution is he looking at? We need to understand the kind of revolution he has. Is it a revolution that the masses will come out and be slaughtered? Is it a revolution where people will sit down to negotiate? So we need to know the kind of revolution he's talking about. Everybody wants Nigeria to change. Everybody wants good things in this country. Everybody wants good leadership. Well, how do we get it? We have a flawed electoral system. So if we are talking about getting it right, then everybody should begin to talk about the fact that we need to change the electoral process. And that is where I think everybody should stand. If we all stand on that to demand, and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the things we want to change between now and 2027 election. And everybody, whether you're in party A, you're in party B, you're in party C, everybody agrees on that. And we seek that, and we demand for that. then we are ready to move forward.
All right, sir. Because of time, let me quickly play what he said in that second conversation, then we jump on other issues very quickly. Take a listen.
So I left the program for him. That's the third time in terms of contact, but that's the second contact. I'm giving you this explanation
because
just to dispute.
the feelers are that you worked with your platform. You did a lot of expose that favored those who were close to him, and that those who were feeling that at a time that you were. In fact, there are those who said that you did a lot of stuff for the likes of Amaechi. You did a lot of stuff against the government at the time.
So, in fact, one of the biggest works I did was against Tinubu. In 2008, his drug story history from that Chicago, United States court in Chicago. I was the one who first got a copy of it and published online. The entire drug court case.
For sure.
Yes.
Why does it look like you hate Tinubu so much?
No, I don't. See, I don't hate any one of them.
Why do you dislike
him? I hate their politics. I won't deny that. I hate the fact that they are direct opposite of what they've ever promised to be. So you can imagine that this is a Tinubu that we all, during June 12, claimed we want a better country. I didn't meet him I met Abiola. We were more like directly involved with the top during June 12, which is Abiola. Even Abiola, I didn't meet more than once, which you have seen the video from Channels TV. It was an interview that was carried out by the proprietor himself. I was with Nahuru, and they had a meeting inside. It's like I went in to scatter the meeting because I went into all these politicians that I told him, I said, all these people will betray you. And in an attempt to calm him down and try to give me money, I reject. So when we were leaving...
Oh, MK wanted to silence you.
He had a duffel bag full of cash beside him. And I think that's the way he operated.
So
when we came in, he just, student leader. Because I don't know who ushered us into their big meeting. But we were the ones who were making all the big gains during June 12 protests. So he said, student leader. And I said to him, I said, Chief, all these people you are saying.
So the Kingibes, the Enauros, all of them were in the room.
So Enahoro now said, I agree with him. You know, what's this man who now, Zogina, Mbakwe, all of them were there. Jakonde, all of them were there. They were inside his living room is like a stadium. All of them. And I think they had already given them their money. All of them are close to them. So he looked at me and was giving us 800,000 naira.
At the time?
At that time. It's a lot of money. And I said,
this was 92?
1993.
93, yeah.
I said, Chief, we didn't come here for money. He was shocked. He said, nobody has ever rejected money from me. Yeah, just use it for buy fuel, transport. I said, I didn't know where we're coming from. Like, this money is too much. Even if we are flying a helicopter, I don't think it will cost that much. So we started to leave. And then he stood up and followed me and Nahoro. And we walked out of the place, and John Momo was waiting. That was that interview where I was behind him when I was 22 years old. Yes. So those are the people I know. But to go back to my point, you see them saying, oh, we wanted a better country. But when you look at the antecedents around that time and later, you knew that they were all in bed just looking for power. So it turns out that Tinubu then were involved with the military somehow, with Babangida.
What do you mean?
Oh, they were, if you know what they did, they were friends. He had been a senator under the diarchy that Babangida set up. So they were all working together. It was just a disagreement over power sharing.
But wouldn't that be contradictory though? Yeah. If you say the Tinubus of this world were in bed with the military, they were fighting. He himself and the rest, he was in fact backing the pro democracy agitators.
You should know this, and we need education around it. The military at that time had factions. They owned that faction of the military that they were working with. They were more on the side of the Babangida people, and they were part of the discipleship of Yaradua Senior, the one who died in, I think, Abakalaki prison. So, but the faction that Abacha belonged to was the one who ran them out of town and suppressed. But if you look at it beyond then, when even Abiola was supposed to be released, they kind of switched gear and they became some of the best friends with Abubakar Abdul-Salami. When Abubakar Abdul-Salami took over power and was handed over power to them, do you know where they took him to get an award? Chicago State University. I was one of the people when I protested against him there, which led Kayode Oladele, who was now in the House of Rep, to serve Abubakar with a lawsuit accusing him of killing Abiola. They eventually settled the lawsuit out of court and paid.
These are allegations that Tinubus of this world were in bed with the military. You don't have evidence.
I do. They can't deny it. I think he said it himself when he met Babangida. I've given you enough circumstantial evidence to know that these things are true. For instance, when I went to Chicago to protest against Abubakar, I saw a shopper there, and I said, Chief, so all along, you people have been in bed with these people. He just told me, he said, Omodenia, you know that you are a small boy now.
Maybe it's a way to also get the military out at the end.
Prince Francis Chilaka, did you hear that? So there are people who were fighting with the military at the same time, hobnobbing with them.
Well, how do I
regime?
Yeah, how do I start to agree with him? How do I start? The actions of your president since he became president has given credence to what Sowore is saying. If you recall, your minister for what do they call him now? Budget.
Atiku Bagudu.
Good. Atiku Bagudu was said to be the one who was laundering funds for the late Abacha. I'm sure you've heard about that, and it's been in the news. It's not a hearsay. It's in the news. And then you're asking yourself, if your president doesn't have any relationship with Abacha, what would the Bagudu be doing in his administration? That is on one side. That is on one side. On the other side is the Chakuris. You also remember that the military chased them out of the country.
The Chagri guy, Gilbert, I think said they did the time they were indicted because of Atiku Abacha money.
Exactly. So what is he doing with him? So when you try to, I know quite a number of people have also said, including Sowore, that Tinubu was not really fighting for democracy. Was not fighting the military to get democracy. A lot of them were fighting for themselves. And that is why he can tell you publicly that he spent 20, 30 years preparing for this. So all the while he was said to be fighting against the military, he was preparing to ascend the throne. It's like a kingmaker planning to become the king. When he's planning to become the king, he keeps making, he keeps the lineage of the kingship. He makes it in such a way that, he protected our father. He's protecting the son. And maybe the last son doesn't have anybody that will take over. And that is his target. And when that opportunity comes, what does he do? He declares himself the king. So if President Bola Tinubu claims to have been preparing for 30 years, and this is what we're getting nothing close to democracy, but everything close to the military, everything close to dictatorship. I mean, you don't need somebody to tell you that everyone. Let me shock you. The late Ogbe is somebody I know. I know him personally. Yes, I know him personally. When I was in Abuja then, when I was much younger, I know him personally. The late Vincent Obulafo as well, I know him personally. You know that as at the time Ogbe was chairman of PDP, Vincent Obulafo was the national secretary. And we all worshipped in the same church. I can count how many of my CVs I submitted to the late Ogbe. Yes. So at the end of the day, I just found out that, the moment they are not in power, you are their friend. They relate with the masses. They relate with the poor Nigerians. They relate with the downtrodden. But the moment they get into power, precious, they forget who you are. They change their phone numbers. They allow protocol to exist between you and them. So if you see a politician telling you, I am fighting for the people, I am fighting for Nigerians, please go and check the person very well. Behind every thought of an ordinary citizen, behind every cover they give to an ordinary citizen, they have already masterminded how they are going to recover it in 100 or 1,000 folds. So it's not about the people at the end of the day. It's about what is going to come into their pocket, how they want to line up their pocket.
All right.
And so the politicians
talk about politicians during the military regime.
The politicians are, see, let me tell you, Precious, the politicians can even betray their father and their mother to get to power. So those who were hobnobbing with the military, they were not hobnobbing to chase the military away. No, they were doing it to find a way for them to survive. And that is the truth. And that's why till today, nobody has told us why June 12th was annulled.
All right.
We've been hearing stories of, oh, it was the leaders in the Southwest that didn't want it to happen. Just as we're also hearing stories that it is some leaders in the Southeast that don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. And fingers have been pointed at some people.
Now, speaking about
in the daytime, and come please, in the daytime, they meet with the people, they stand with the people, and at night, what do they do? Because if you're telling me that it needs to take a Sowore to organize a protest for Nnamdi Kanu, and you have your so-called leaders in the Southeast, and something is wrong somewhere.
All right, sir. Now, speaking about that Nnamdi Kanu protest, Sowore don't also talk for this same interview. He talks, so waiting make Peter Obi no one join the protest now because he feel like, say, him, Sowore, won't steal in shine or he won't steal the show. Say, he need to join the protest because of the person where they do the protest. Now, waiting make him no greater. Let me even read it. Obi's decision not to participate in the protest stems from political calculation rather than principle, right? He said that Obi doesn't want to be part of the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest because his people feel it's about who is leading it, adding that they believe it's a steal the show situation. That is, in people believe, say, that steal the show situation. And say, when it comes to injustice, say people supposed to come together fight injustice, irrespective of who they lead the cause for injustice. Say they're not supposed to calculate whether Sowore they lead them or anybody they lead them more. Say they're supposed to just come together. So maybe because obedience believes saying Sowore they lead the protest and waiting make Peter Obi no agree participate for the fight for the protest tomorrow. It will happen tomorrow. But let me just say, if you like to react to that, if you don't like, let's just move on.
I totally disagree with Sowore. And I'll say that don't forget that the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is a two-way thing. One, the case is in court, and two, the organization under which Nnamdi Kanu operates, which is IPOB, has been designated by the Nigerian government as a terrorist organization. And you expect a Peter Obi to be seen openly associating with that, then that means, there is a clandestine plan, either to bring out Peter Obi to be arrested or to even be killed.
But Peter Obi, several times have also spoken about IPOB and he does speak about Nnamdi Kanu matter before.
No,
for
speaking about it, and since this government came to power, you know that each time there's a protest, they also organize their own protest, who protest against the protesters. You know that. And they do it with impunity. And at the end of the day, you also find out that the police gives protection to the protesters protesting against the protesters.
All right, sir.
So tomorrow, if Peter Obi comes out and joins that protest, and it is hijacked, what do you think the government will do? They will arrest Peter Obi. Now they will turn it into an ethnic issue. And that is what I personally want us to avoid. The name Igbo man doesn't smell well in government. Igbo man, that you're an Igbo man, you can't do anything and get away with it. But the Yoruba man will do anything and get away with it. It's an Hausa man. Precious, let me tell you this. Do you know that if those children that were arrested during the end of bad governance protests were from the southeast, they will still be in detention up till now? That is how bad this country has gotten. That is how the Igbo man is being treated in this country. Sometimes we say, oh, we don't want to be tribalistic, but that is where we are. The marginalization of the Igbo man is becoming sickening.
But shouldn't there be more reason why everybody they involved for Igbo cause suppose join together, join Sowore to fight the injustice?
When you say fight the injustice, I ask myself.
Like demanding for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, that's the thing.
Good. When you say, there's more like, it's looking more like there's a stalemate in the case. Ordinarily, if things were working in this country, ordinarily, if the rule of law was working, the Supreme Court was the final point where that case was dismissed. We talk about the detention of Nnamdi Kanu. They say Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, but nobody's talking about the reason why he jumped bail. I've heard some people, including Joe Ibokwe, come to say that what happened with the what do you call them, the Eke dance, or the crocodile dance, or the monkey dance in his village was carried out by him. Since this issue of this protest started, I mean, you need to go and read what Joe Ibokwe is putting out there. You need to go and read it. He's also an Igbo man. Oh,
by the way, they another thing when you talk today, and I tell you, and saying don't have the coalition people say coalition don't silence, they don't scatter. Say the noise don't fade away, they no agree talk again.
It's not about
it. Consider the news about the overrated coalition is fading away gradually. It is all noise and no substance. A story told by a certain loud mouth. Sir.
The truth about the coalition is not about noise. Achievers don't make noise. You and I know that. People who want to achieve something, they don't make noise. People who know their destination, they don't make noise. Because sometimes you ask yourself, what does Sowore really want? What does he want? If you want a Nigeria that works, when him, Fela Durotoye, Tope Fashoa, Moano, who again, when they were assumed then at that time, when they came together to form their coalition, what happened? They couldn't arrive at a consensus. Even when the coalition chose Fela Durotoye, what happened? Sowore disagreed because he wanted to be the candidate. So these are known things. And what happened thereafter? Thereafter, Bola Tinubu won the election. Fela Durotoye worked for 3 or 6 months, which he said he worked for free. Fela Durotoye is, Tope Fashoa is still in government. So the only person that looks like that has been left standing alone is just Sowore. So the point I'm trying to make is that you can't, like I keep saying, you can't be saying that everybody is bad and that you're the only good person. Even if you are good, you must be able and willing to work with those people who are bad to achieve a greater cause.
So you not feel say because of saying if it's continue to resist to work with the status quo, now make a very good person with principles. You don't think that?
No, I don't agree with that. Because Sowore too is a politician. Sowore is a politician. He's a politician, and I know how they think.
Okay, sir.
But
Let's move to other conversation.
every step a politician takes is more about what they're going to benefit. And this is the truth.
All right, so very quickly, the Yoruba Union, Igbimo Majekobaje Ile Yoruba, has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, describing the alleged coup plot recently uncovered in Nigeria as a reflection of and denied by the military as a reflection of weak government that has impoverished its citizens and failed to curb rising insecurity while continually negotiating with terrorists. Now, in a statement released today, Sunday, and jointly signed by the union's convener, Olushola Badero, and its home director, Princess Balugu, the social cultural group expressed deep concern about the direction of the country under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they talk a lot of things. Now, one of the things they talk, they called on the Nigerian military to come clean on the alleged coup plot by publicly publishing the offenses of the 16 senior officers that they said they arrested, that are in detention. You say they commit offense, so you tell us within them commit, publish the offense, and then allow them to also speak to the truth of the offense they committed and all of those issues. Do you think it really does matter? Because the military have already said that there was no coup plot and people just they talk. I don't know why would they carry the rumor.
No, but you see, behind every rumor, there's an element of truth. Yes, behind every rumor, there's an element of truth. It is because the government has failed to communicate with people. They have created room for the people to make assumptions. You cannot, this is a purely, in quotes, civilian rule, democratic rule. You cannot arrest 16 senior army officers without telling the country, telling the nation, telling the people why you arrested them. And then you waited until rumor filtered out. And where did the rumor filter out from? It's also from the same circle. So the damage control that the army and the presidential spokesman are trying to do is not working. Are you charging them for mutiny?
So you think it's damage control?
Them for disobedience? So if these are the things you're charging them for, why don't you reel it out? And all you're claiming is that you're investigating them. It doesn't make sense. So for me, I think that it's not because of any group, because these are the group you just mentioned. I don't know them. We've never heard of them before. But when we're in democratic group, everybody, presidents and I can wake up to form a group and we say we want to attack the governor. So that is what is happening. So for me, it's not about what the group is saying, but it's about what is obtainable. Behind every rumor, there's an element of truth.
All right, so about the same thing, this thing when they talk to Peter Obi also talk, and Peter Obi also talked something recently. He also did say that part of the things and what they cause, in fact, that he has attributed the high rate of poverty in the country to years of failed leadership, misplaced priorities, systematic corruption, policy failures, and an absence of compensation governance, compassionate governance rather. Say we'll not get government to be say get compassion for their people. Say all this and more. Say we must now more than ever restore productivity, reduce waste, and cut the cost of governance if we are truly committed to the fight against poverty. Because it's in the pain say over 139 people now don't enter inside poverty again. So he himself don't talk about them. But then let's move on to other issues. Purely politics.
Hold on.
Okay.
And it's one thing for government to have make a policy statement, and it's another thing for government to carry it out. Severally, we have heard if the money that was shared, was it not 300 billion we heard that was shared recently? Precious, if 300 billion entered this country, this system, as Nigeria, things go better.
Shared by where? Is it the one that FAC shared?
No. The one your minister for finance and everything said they shared to households.
Oh, okay.
So if that kind of money enters,
that's 300 and something billion, yeah, please.
Good. How many people
Thereabouts.
I mean,
That's not
how many people have called to tell you that they got money? Are we not saying that the people who got this money, which they call cash transfer, they don't have phones, they don't listen to radio, they don't listen to YouTube, or they don't even listen to news. So the thing is that, when you have a government that keeps lying to the people and keep trying to deceive the people and to keep trying to cajole the people and to keep trying to use the machinery of government to push down their own narrative, you will have a problem. And that is where we are today. This afternoon, I had on radio. I had the national PRO of customs, and he said something, that the CG of customs have reduced the number of checkpoints. I mean, from 7 to my 2. Before now, precious, they said it was 70 checkpoints.
What?
From 7
What are they checking?
to
And then
my 2.
how do we still manage to smuggle in those contrabands if we get all those checkpoints?
So those checkpoints are there. They're not checking what people are bringing in. They are there to extort the people. Now, the CG has come up to say that they have reduced it to 2. One at Igbaji and the other one at Agbara. If this is done, it is wonderful. But we know that he has said it. It can be done for 2-3 days. And thereafter, what happens?
Status quo.
They'll come back to status quo. So it's that's what we keep saying. The government does not show the political will to drive some of our policies. NNPC has increased the price of petrol. Why? Because Dangote increases the price of petrol. Between Dangote and NNPC, who should be regulating the price of petrol?
But the market only deregulated now, so it doesn't.
No, it means that the NNPC has gone moribund. Because if the NNPC is producing, as they have made Nigerians to believe, they should be in the forefront of pushing down the price.
Because now
that is what the regulation is all about. Competition. But as it is today, NNPC is now depending on Dangote. So if Dangote sneezes, NNPC will catch cold. So you find out that the poverty level is not something that the government can control. It is getting worse on a daily basis. And we hope and pray that it doesn't get worse.
All right, so let's get straight into politics. Perhaps we'll join up with most of these political conversations together, make you just respond. First on our lineup, as it gets to do with the PDP saga, as the say, Oga Ayam will be the secretary. You don't petition SSS or DSS, as they like to call them, accuse in party INEC officials of forging his signature and all of those issues. Remember, say they know whether to do or not to do their convention was supposed to take place for inside the South, but precisely in November. So, and that matter still there, as it's still there for courts. And Ayawo now don't petition DSS over some letters where they say they write about them. Now, remember, say Wike don't talk to him and they talk, say that convention no go hold. But they talk, say they don't clear everything they go hold. But with all this drama where they come up, remember the drama where happened between the party chairman and the party legal advisor for inside courts. All these sons, you think, say truly they go free hold the convention. That's on the one hand. And on the other hand, ADC don't come out and talk, say, if all the governors like me then defect, make APC say whether they with that then defect or don't, they don't defect to say no matter what thing happen, APC must come out for government for 2027. They must leave. That they must leave in 2027. How will they make them leave? Well, they said that when the time reached, they will come out. But there's something interesting the chairman of APC said. He said that right now in Kaduna State, say all religion they equal now for Kaduna State. because whether in a mosque or in a church, so all of them they treated the same way, and they be the same thing now for Kaduna State under the leadership of Obasanjo. Contrary to waiting El-Ruffai when they do, when you will make sure say the Muslims now get the upper hand for Kaduna State. But that not really the reality for inside Kaduna State, because the people we see the cry, Christian communities we see the cry of marginalization. But let me take a response, sir.
Well, let me start from Kaduna State. The deputy governor of Kaduna State, where is he from? Is he a Muslim or a Christian?
And El-Ruffai talk down and say make sure say Muslim.
So if Obasanjo is talking about equality and equity, justice and fairness, then the deputy governor should resign.
Wait.
Yes, he should resign. We must start from the root to solve the problem. That is what I expect the governor to do. So that the Christian will now become his deputy. You do not live on a foundation that is faulty, and you are happy about it, yet you are condemning the person who made that foundation. He's a beneficiary of that. He's a pure beneficiary of whatever evil that El-Ruffai was said to have done. He's a beneficiary. So let him behave like a Yaradua that came out openly to say, the election that brought me to power was faulty. He has not done that. He has never criticized that election. So that means that he's not a sincere man. Now, talking about PDP and Wike, I've always said that the only way PDP can come out boldly to talk in the face of Nigeria is when they are ready to do away with a Wike from that party. How they're going to do it, nobody knows. And I find it very, very funny that suddenly Anyanwu is now coming out to say his signature was forged. 2 days to the convention. You cannot see how your politicians are. Some of them think from their ass. And that's the truth. They think they have common sense, but they don't have common sense. If Wike and Anyanwu believe that they are strong and that they have the structure of the party, go to the convention. Let all those who are supporting Wike go to the convention and contest the election. Don't forget that the convention is meant for them to elect party leaders.
But the courts now ain't go decide. Now, you know, see the case they court now. So everybody's supposed to maintain.
The judiciary itself is messed up.
Yeah. The
judiciary keeps dabbling into what they shouldn't dabble into. If you remember the case between Nenadi Usman and Abure, where the Supreme Court ruled that this is purely a party issue. Go and resolve your party, internal party system. Go and resolve it on your own. I was expecting that PDP would have learned from that court case and know that going to court is just a waste of process. The Supreme Court has given a ruling. Why are they not following that ruling? Why is Wike against this convention? Why? Since he's a popular man, I saw some snippets of interview where he said that if he contests the election, he will win. Nigerians will vote for him. And I said, this man feels he feels too big important of himself. It's obvious that Wike does not know how Nigerians think and what Nigerians think about him. But that is a politician. A politician is always optimistic, even when they're falling inside the hole. They believe that the people are clueless, that the people are senseless, and that the people will take anything. And I don't blame them, because a lot of Nigerians will do. A lot of Nigerians will do.
All right, sir. So make a quickly report the situation to you.
Coming to ADC,
okay,
and talking about the elections. ADC too is a political party. There's no political party that will tell you that you lose the election. But what I will say to ADC, time is ticking. They should announce their candidates now.
Especially as election will happen next year, November. Remember, there is a possibility. So,
Yes, they should announce their candidates now.
okay.
So that they can go into proper campaign when the time is right. By now, they should be doing an underground campaign. And I'll tell you this for free. Anything ADC is doing short of Peter Obi, they will crumble like a card.
With the North, do you know the strength of the North?
I am telling you this. If the North is sincere and the North wants to wrestle power from Parliament Tinubu, they should not feel the Northern. They will have a better chance with Peter Obi and a strong Northerner, and not Atiku as his deputy. And I believe that there are two people there that can pull this thing off. And the first person is El-Ruffai, and the second person is Tambua.
All right.
So this is time for ADC and the North to think as if there's no box.
All right, sir. So let me quickly report the situation to you. Then we'll go to some insecurity conversation. Then I open the phone lines just for 2-3 calls, and then we run along. Very quickly, the situation reports. Now say, as I make I tell you, is there anything wrong with President Bola Tinubu granting people pardon? Because I don't know why people have been dragging him. Now, the latest people to complain right now, now the Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE, they don't talk, say President Bola Tinubu's recent presidential pardon can damage investors' confidence in Nigeria. Why then would they talk like that? Why they go talk like, in fact, they talk a lot of things. What people come, they talk to and say, you get anything where president will do, we go even sweet on a. Why are they complain? Say it would damage investors' confidence. Say it release people will be say supposed die or supposed to be perpetually for prison. And then secondly, another person again, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, is a Chukwuemeka Eze. It also called for the scrapping of some of federal government agencies like the NDLEA, the EFCC, the ICPC, the according to Eze, say the agencies have lost their flavors to political interference, stressing that President Bola Tinubu's presidential pardon of drug barons have further erodes public confidence in statutory institutions. So, what in president go do now? We go please people. Why people they do like this, sir? As to make a report. Sir,
what your president did is unheard of.
How?
Let me be very honest with you. If I was in the shoes of that very day he made that pronouncement, I would resign. I am telling you the truth. I will resign. And you're not asking why I will resign.
Why?
I will resign because you have told them that all the battle they have been fighting to curb drug bellies in the society has been turned to the dogs. I mean, let us be honest with ourselves. As one Nigerian, not even as Nigerians now, let us be honest with ourselves as human beings. I have always told you, Precious, that I do not believe in this whole thing about giving amnesty to anybody that carries gun to kill another person. I told you I don't believe in this rehabilitation and reintegration of Boko Haram terrorists in the north. It is unacceptable. It is madness. And so also I don't believe that those who bring drugs, those who peddle drugs should be granted amnesty. Not at the time when your president, your president has a drug case on his neck. Have you forgotten the $460,000, $60,000?
Accusation be that now.
It's an accusation. If it is an accusation, it has not been cleared. He has admitted.
Yeah, but U.S. court no
Your president has admitted.
It does not be ex-convict to U.S. So we know that.
It's not an issue of ex-convict. He has admitted that yes, that money was released by him. Do you know that that on his own, with what he has done now, shows he has affinity with drug barons?
Mm.
Do you know that? So the truth of the matter is that granting amnesty is a wonderful thing, but you must make sure that those you are granting this amnesty to are worth it. There are people that the society will not go haywire. The people that, if the society hears it, even if they're going to criticize it, they'll criticize it a little bit, but not what he has done. So, do you know the import of that? If the international community takes it a step further to begin to say, a country that is giving clemency to drug barons, are they really fighting drug importation into their land? Are they fighting it? It's like if you have 100 men in prison who have been beating and battering their wives, and you have a government office that keeps sending them to prison, and then you wake up one morning and release all of them. What are you trying to say? You're trying to say that beating and battering of wives is unacceptable? No. And that is unacceptable to anyone. So people that are criticizing it, they're not criticizing it because it is a President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No, they're criticizing it because your president has done something wrong.
Okay, sir. All right. Just speaking on, I mean, phone lines are open, Nigerians. I will be opening the phone lines now. So kindly jumping on the conversation. 0700 903 0817 I beg your pardon. 0817 That's the number to call. I go put the link inside the comment section so that when I go fit. In fact, I go even put both the link and the number for the comment section so you can quickly go there and check it out. And then also follow the link to straight to the studio to join the conversation for inside the studio. Right. All right. Or you just call the WhatsApp line to be part of the conversation very quickly. I think I can tell you a few security things really happened. So we hear say armed bandits yesterday, Saturday, launched an attack on a custom checkpoint along the Babana Road for inside Niger State, resulting in the death of one officer. Now, according to the Gazelle Makama reports, they say the violence erupted after customs personnel intercepted suspected informants and food suppliers linked to bandit groups who were transporting jerry cans of fuel on motorcycles through Luma Audu Farikuka village. In retaliation, the bandits stormed the location and opened fire, killing Suleiman, a customs camp assistant from New Busa. His body was later taken to the General Hospital in New Busa for autopsy. Authorities have begun efforts to track down the attackers through surrounding areas and are currently reported to be, we hear that other areas are so far a bit calm. And this one they come at a time where we say, remember, government still they openly they negotiate with bandits. I mean, government in the north, some northern states. Let me take your reaction. Anambra State is still get some kind of security matter too, but make I just take your.
What do you want me to say?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to say? I mean, we wake up in Nigeria every day. We're expected to hear bad news. We're expected to hear that people have been killed. We're expected to hear that bandits has ravaged the village. We're expected to hear that our women and children have been raped. And yet somebody opens his mouth and he tells you that you should go and negotiate with bandits. You should give them what they want. That they want to live in the bushes. So you should go and build schools in the bushes. As if those bushes, time they will not cut down, the trees will not be cut down when development gets there. So what do you want to hear? A country where, like I said it earlier, where government officials are holding meeting with bandits. And you think it is safe ever. It is not. So the government must have the political will to say, look, These guys are enemy of the state. Let us take them out. I would say that in the last few days, Nigerian army has been very proactive, and but they need to do more. They need to do more. And that's the truth. I was reading a report 2 days back where they said some guys went to a police station and attacked a police station. So it's getting, these guys are getting very, very how do I put it? They're getting confidence they're exhuming is annoying. They're getting very confident to the point that they just believe that they can do and undo. So the government needs to wake up. The government needs to do the right thing. And the right thing is forget this carrot and stick approach and launch a full-scale war. Declare a state of emergency. And you will see that this pandemic will come to an end.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The phone lines are open now. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Precious.
Yes, please. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Peter Obi calling from.
My G. You don't buy suya. You don't chop suya.
Yeah, I never chop suya.
Why you never chop suya?
I know they do too much of beef. I do too much of fish and.
Your children go chop suya. Your children go chop suya.
I don't talk to the guy. I don't talk to that. Yeah, I get the color.
Right now, this year when they advertise, and they pay for them.
I didn't pay for them more.
No, they advertise. No, they advertise when they go there. No, they need to pay. This platform is not for free. They need to pay for this advert.
Hey,
I say your advert strong, but you like say you major shareholder.
No,
imagine. No, if you're not paying, I bet that advert stop when I do on air.
No. But he has a good product. And people who don't chop and don't testify.
You can come pay for adverts, not be free with the talk here.
Oh yeah, it's okay, sir. No problem. I'll tell him to come and pay for advert. Mr. Moriye, make I can't tell you in whispers. Later, buy see here. Later, okay, and let me know how it is. I'll tell your people to give me results. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
First of all, I appreciate your effort. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Greetings to our guest in the studio, Mr. Chilaka.
I greet you.
I've been following for some time. To corroborate what you said about Tinubu being an agent of possibly working with the military junta when he was pretending to be an ADECO member. Towards between 1998 and 1999, when we were almost done with dealing with the IBB and Abacha, there was a general meeting called by late Gani Fewehimi. So Gani, he felt there was no need to rub ourselves in the mud with the politicians. He opted for, being on the fence to be able to criticize them and do the needful. That was the greatest mistake Gani made. If you look at those that genuinely fought for the democracy we have today, none of them really participated in 1999. So that one again was a big blunder, and that gave opportunity to the military. If you look at it from the federal to the state, it was actually the agents of the military that were installed. Abacha, for example, the president, for example, OPJ, if they wanted to pacify the Yorubas because of what they did to Abiola and Jutueve and Ahmed. If you want to ask me, OPJ wasn't the choice of Yoruba. If you wanted to, the Yorubas prefer El-Ruffai to OPJ. That was why he didn't win any state in Yoruba land. They were surprised that he won the general election because they wanted one of their own in the military and by character, not character. So that was why you had at the state level the likes of the Boris of this world in the Delta, the Grenadiers of this world in Edo, and so many other states. Those that were laundering money one way or the other for the military. He was correct. To further convince you, among all those that fought the civil rights people that fought against the military, we didn't surprise you that it was only Jagaban that Cornelius, he has been a snitch. Behind everything, beside what Gani said, he participated against the decision that was taken generally that no civil rights genuine civil rights activists to participate in 1999. That was why he got into Lagos between 1999 to 2007. Till now, he has not left Lagos. He has remained the
So wait. You they accuse President Tinubu of snitching on Nigerians generally. Yeah? Your president.
I'm just protesting. I'm not promoting like I gave you. I'm giving you more evidence. Apart from the relationship with the Chagoris and
Bagudu.
What's your name?
Atiku Bagudu. Atiku Bagudu.
The Bagudas of this world. So if you look at his relationship with the Chagoris of this world, you know they were facing a problem with Nigerian authorities. In fact, they had a serious issue. So it will not surprise you that Tinubu, the president of Tinubu and the Chagoris. So the relationship dated back as they are working together with Abacha and Johnson. So I'm just giving you this one.
You therefore you see this thing when you talk fit go viral. If you go viral now, you go fit admit them for anywhere. Say the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu followed betray Nigerians for the fight against military. He snitch on Nigerians.
It's not a secret at all. It's an open secret. So there was at one point Chinaka made. I think he contradicted himself in a way. He said Sowore should collaborate with other people.
I don't wait for you to respond to that matter. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. See, there is a point I want to make. This is not about Sowore.
Okay, sir.
There's a saying in my local palace that you drive away the hog before you blame the fowl. So this is not about Sowore. This is not about individual. We have a bigger elephant in the room. We have a bigger problem, a national problem to address. So I can need this idea of trying to, tackle an individual who is making a little effort is no way.
No. I mean, I know Prince Francis Chilaka is here and he can speak for himself. But again, I repeat what he said. He says he doesn't appreciate Sowore's self-righteous preach. Like, he's always said that everybody with the government today, they bad. Only I'm good. All the politicians are bad to Sowore. Now only I'm good. Say if only I'm good. How on they come now? Make they come. No, let me and no, you said something now. So let me finish. So that okay. All right. Okay.
He almost contradicted himself at the point. He said Sowore wasn't willing to work with the other younger candidates. Actually, we had a meeting. Sowore was there for the first time. But also, when he said within a few months, most of them today, name them, apart from what's the other man that worked in the former CBN assistant director before. All those ones he mentioned before that called a meeting, today they are working with Jagaba, they're all in FTC, one way or the other. So,
there is more alone.
Apart from Mogalu is the only one that is not working. Among them that attended that meeting, today Chilaka also confirmed that they are all working with the Jagaba. That means they were not sincere with the collaboration with Sowore, and Sowore said that was the reason he gave to us. That they were trying to work from the answer to the question. He saw the handwriting on the wall, he backed out. The second meeting, he said he wasn't going to attend. So if Chief Chilaka can confirm that among those that attended that meeting today, they are one way or the other in APC, which means they were most trying to catch Sowore.
So apart from those ones that attended that meeting, there is nobody in Nigeria like this that is in politics that is good at a little bit enough for Sowore to work with, and he's the only one that is good.
There are millions of people.
That is the point. That is the point Chilaka is making now. That you don't act like you're the self-righteous person. Only you good. Every other person bad, but you. You could at least try to liaise with someone else in one way or the other. Where you're good, no finish. The other person compliment you. Where the person good, no complete. Your own compliments the person. That's what he's trying to say. Do you understand?
There is too much division among the people. That is what is giving the rulers, the politicians advantage. We should be able to have a meeting point to say, okay, let's fight for this in common. Like the fight is fighting right now. For those that are saying he's doing it for me to chase a political class, there's a question I have for them, including your guys in the studio. I don't mean any, in 1992, 1993 to back before, when Sowore was fighting for June 12 validation, Sowore wasn't on the ballot. He wasn't having any presidential ambition. So was he chasing cloud before because he wanted popularity then? When Sowore fought for Obi, when Obi was impeached in Anambra State, when he used his other reporters to intervene in one way or the other, he wasn't on the ballot. He never had a political ambition. When Jonathan was being impeached, and Sowore, he took the hands of Sowore and Dora Akunyele of this world. So Nigeria was in darkness for days. There was nobody in charge. Yaradua was critically ill. At the point Yaradua was dead, was brain dead. Nobody was in charge. They were hiding it for everybody. Sowore took risk to break that information, to break the gist of the secret they were holding against Nigerians.
Remember that some Nigerians also did of the opinion saying that him also follow bring that same government to take risk. Remember. I am just telling you now that as the president we won't win, I saw others to the pick holes for things when you can't do actions when you take later. But the bottom line in all this is that what Chinaka is trying to say is that there is nobody holy pass. Now waiting in the try talk, but I know he has the right to respond for himself anyway.
Let me just add this point I'm trying to make. Okay. Do you know at that point some people were already plotting a coup to take over from Yaradua? So he took the timely intervention of Sowore to his reporters to destroy that evil plot against Nigerians. He wasn't on the ballot. He wasn't chasing clout. He didn't want to become president then. So even when Jonathan finally came to power, Jonathan sent somebody, Maniboro, to meet Sowore in New York with money and everything. If Sowore wanted to be in the corridors of power without even wasting any effort, Sowore would have gotten a ministerial position easily through Jonathan. Number one, they are related in the job. They have the same job bloodline. And number two, he wanted to compensate him for the job he did. You know, when there was a lacuna, when the Yaradua died and nobody was able to replace everybody in darkness. So if they really wanted access, free access to corridors of power, he would have gotten it without wasting much effort. So the point I'm trying to make is not to paint Sowore as a state. It's never a state. But again, you cannot force a man to bend his principle because of political convenience. On matters of principle, some people are strong as Olomo Rock. They're not willing to bend. So if you ask me, politics is not the best way for Sowore. Even what this one is doing right now, people feel he wants to shine Obi. Even if Sowore dies for Obi tomorrow, who will not vote for Sowore will not vote for Sowore. My Eastern brothers will not vote for Sowore. It doesn't take the shine from Obi to Sowore. We should stop this idea of trying to divide ourselves unnecessarily along tribal religious line and deal with the issue squarely as a people. There's something we have in common. Whether Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa, we have humanity in common. Thank you and God bless you.
But just to clear the air, I didn't see anywhere Chilaka tried to mention the fact that Sowore is a Yoruba man, and that's why he never mentioned anything ethnic or tribal lines. But let him also. No, you said you were reacting to what he said, and I wouldn't make me just raise them. But let me let him respond. Thank you so much.
Okay. Nigerians of this, of this problem. We are too tribalistic. We are too religious minded. Everything is reduced. Important conversations are reduced to the altar of frivolities based on religious and ethnic and religious bigotry.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. All right, Christmas, would you like to react to that, sir?
No, sometimes people. I've always said that some people have this mindset of while you're talking, they're already preparing their response, and by the time they start to respond, they don't recall what you've said. There's no way I talked. I've never called Sowore a tribalistic person. I've never brought tribal content into Sowore. I've never brought.
Never said you said so either.
But what I have said is that looking at the way Nigerian politics is today, Sowore cannot go it alone. Sowore must find people he can work with. The reason why you see a Peter Obi, you see Atiku, you see El-Ruffai, you see all these people trying to form a coalition is because they know that taking power from a sitting government is not easy. When APC wanted to take over power in 2015, don't forget, as at that time you didn't have APC. You had NCN, you had CPC, you had ABCA, you had a faction of PDP. They came together to form an alliance which brought about the APC you have today. And if you look at it, you still find out that amongst those who gathered, some of them did not even believe in the APC, but they just believed in one thing: power must change hands. So the way Nigeria is today, Sowore cannot go it alone. And that is the truth. Sowore cannot go it alone. He needs to come down from his high heavens and find people to work with. I do not and I will not support this idea of feeling that he is the only righteous man in Nigeria. No. I don't even believe or trust. From my experience with politicians, I don't believe or trust any one of them.
Okay. All right, sir. Let me quickly admit someone else into the room. Hello, good evening and welcome. Otumbati Waidanjuma, good evening and welcome, sir.
Good evening. I'll be one comment. Good evening, Precious, and good evening, Prince.
Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you guys are doing. I be want make a few comments, but as I say, they don't go. It should be 11 there. So
No, make very quickly.
make I just make I just greet una and then let una go because they don't go. We'll talk tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your kind consideration. Thank you so much. All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, since they don't pursue us, say nights don't come, we go the go house. We go pack our loops, they go now. It don't be like that. Omoyele Sowore, who studied geography, took up the job to discredit Dr. Philip Emegwali, who built the fastest performing computer. And Ogachilaka, you are correct. Showore's holier than thou attitude is sickening, always attacking Peter Obi. Is this about Peter Obi really? All right. I see you guys. Thank you so much, sir. I'd like to say a big thank you to you. Make a living where you go rest as they don't push us already. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Looking forward to seeing you on Friday again, if possible, and if time permits. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good night and God bless. Thank you, sir. All right. Nigerians, thank you so much for being part of the show. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Don't forget to follow Prince Francis Chilaka at Prince Chilaka TV. Yep, that's it. And here at Precious in your TV. And here we do. And also make sure you follow us across all other social media. I think we're on other social medias at Precious in your TV on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, even on TikTok at Precious in TV across all social media platforms. Precious in your TV. So if you just type it, it's a new handle. So if you just type it, you'll see it's Precious in your TV. Please kindly go follow us like a village people. I beg you. And like this post, share it. Make sure say would it pass the gospel of the preaching of how Nigeria will take better to as many people as possible, so that we could take the right decision when the time comes. I love you guys and I appreciate you a lot. Remember to protect your mental health. I see you again, God willing, tomorrow evening. Until then, enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night and God bless you.